What's going on, everybody? This is NYG Jeffy T85 here, and well, if you were watching the Heart of the City last night with my guy NYG22 and Mitch Kofsky was a special guest, of course, Coach Ed Gladney, NYG, Coach Ed Gladney, myself doing the Heart of the City, you'll know how I feel about the Brooklyn Nets last night. And I watched a little bit of the tape, and I'm just very disappointed right now. I'm not going to yell and scream on this one. I'm just very, very disappointed. The Nets, I was one of those fans that was very confident still when this Nets team lost Kevin Durant because of the sprained MCL last week against the Miami Heat. I was still very confident that this basketball team could still be able to stay above float and play at a very strong level. Right now, I look like I'm wrong. Because this basketball team just can't get out of their own way. They've lost their third in a row last night to the lowly San Antonio Spurs. 106 to 98. The Nets couldn't score 100 points against the San Antonio Spurs. This is not our old San Antonio Spurs with Tim Duncan or David Robertson or Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, Kawhi Leonard. This is not that Spurs team. Danny Green. This is a very young, inexperienced, pretty much going nowhere San Antonio Spurs team. And the Brooklyn Nets could not score points against this team. In fact, they shot like garbage. I don't even want to see they shot 42% from the field. Big deal. Big whooping deal. They shot 13%. 13% from the three-point line. 3 of 23. When you have the three-point shooters on your team that the Nets have, and you can't hit a three-point shot, that is bad. That's bad. I mean, between Royce O'Neal, Seth Curry, Joe Harris, TJ Warren, Edmund Sumner, they hit 3 three-point shots altogether. 3. In fact, between O'Neal, Harris, and Curry, who might be the 3 best three-point shooters, they shot 2 for 14. You brought these guys in specifically to hit three-point shots, and they can't hit three-point shots against the San Antonio Spurs? There is no excuses. I don't care if Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant didn't play. You played against the Indiana Pacers earlier on in this season when you sat every single one of your starters and your backups went out there and they played a hell of a basketball game and you beat the Indiana Pacers in Indiana. When you had less players on this team playing and you were playing your guys from the G League and you beat the Pacers. And you still had a whole lot of talent. And you lost to the damn San Antonio Spurs. What makes it worse is that Ben Simmons actually had a very good game. He turned the ball over way too much. And turnovers, I'm starting to get sick of the turnovers. 21 turnovers last night against the Spurs. Are we kidding here? 26 personal fouls. Simmons had 7 turnovers. He had 1/3 of the amount of the turnovers for the Nets last night. And he had a triple-double. Ben Simmons had a triple-double last night. 10 points, 10 rebounds, 11 assists. With 4 steals and 2 block shots. So he turned the ball over way too much. But he was actually a guy that played pretty well last night for the Nets. Nicolas Claxton, another Nicolas Claxton type game. 15 points, 11 rebounds. Seth Curry might have scored 16 points last night, but he couldn't hit a three-point shot to save his life. 1 for 7 from Seth Curry. He was 6 for 16. TJ Warren had the best game out of everybody on the offensive side. 7 of 13 for 19 points with 5 rebounds. It's clear as day right now with Durant and now Irving out. TJ Warren is the go-to player on this offense. Not even a question. And where the hell was Joe Harris? Joe Harris I don't know what happened to Joe Harris, but he can't play right now. And if Joe Harris is going to shoot this poorly, don't play him anymore. Sit him on the bench. Sit him on the bench. 0 points last night from Joe Harris. It's unacceptable and inexcusable. You could not win if Joe Harris is not scoring points, especially without Durant and Irving. You need Harris to be able to get the ball in the basket. Ditto for Royce O'Neal. He had 5. Yuta Watanabe, as much as we were all praising him at the beginning of the season, how great he was playing, he had 0 points. Watanabe is cooled off, and he's cooled off sharply. Markieff Morris, I saw the little scuffle that he had in that game against the Spurs. Didn't really do much else. It's nice to see that the Nets dusted off Cam Thomas because he scored 15 points. He did shoot 6 of 12. That's 50%. Why is this kid not playing anymore? I've asked that before. Edmund Sumner, another guy, 4 for 6, 13 points. Why is he not playing? I understand about matchups, but these guys can put the ball in the basket. Last night was a very, very, very pathetic performance against the San Antonio Spurs. You don't have to watch the film to really see just how this team played last night. The team just doesn't seem like they have the same swagger, the same confidence, and just the overall scoring ability that they had when number 7 is on the basketball court. When Kevin Durant is not playing, it's clear as day, this Nets team just forgets how to play offense. And we talked about the MVP of the league. And I made that video on why Kevin Durant should be the MVP. Well, it's clear as day right now why Kevin Durant is the MVP. Because this basketball team cannot score without Kevin Durant. This team is a different basketball team without Kevin Durant because of the fact that you don't have a guy that could step into that primary scoring role. When Kevin Durant was playing here before he got hurt, he was the go-to guy on offense and everybody else had their role on this offense. Now with Durant out, other guys have had to go into a role that they might not be comfortable with on the offensive end. When you have a big-time player that has to miss time due to injury, it makes everybody else's role change, and it starts changing the dynamic of your overall team. The Brooklyn Nets have now lost 3 games in a row. The rebounding is a problem too. The rebounding is a problem. They got out-rebounded again by the San Antonio Spurs. I know it wasn't as bad, 54 to 49, but still. And now the Nets have a date with the Phoenix Suns on TNT Thursday night. I will be calling that game, by the way, on Thursday night. This is not good. This is not good. 3 in a row right now, and the Suns are still a very good basketball team. The Nets have got to start turning it around, and turning it around soon. Because I did not think that this team would do it again. I was confident that this basketball team would not go through another slide again. But guess what? To quote a famous 60s and 70s singer, Phil Simon, this team is starting to slide away. And I don't want to see this team start collapsing for a second straight year. But unless this team can get it together, and this is going to put Jacques Vaughn in a position where he's got to be able to do a great job coaching. This Nets team is starting to slide. And I really hope that they can get it back together and get back on the right path to win. This was a very, very brutal loss last night. Nets have now lost 3 in a row. They're 27-16 on the season. They're dropping now overall in the seeds. I believe now they're 3rd or 4th place in the East. They better get it right, or it's going to be a replay of last season. So let me know what you guys feel in the comment section. How do you guys feel in the comment section about last night's, let's just be real, pathetic performance against the San Antonio Spurs? Talk about it in the comment section, everyone. You guys know the rest of the details. Hit the like button, sub up if you haven't already. Check out for notifications on the Nets. I'm just very disappointed in this basketball team after the way they performed last night. Hopefully they can start turning it around, and soon. Thank you very much, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Hump Day Wednesday. Take it easy. And let's go Brooklyn Nets. It's a Nets world. And we all are just living in it.